Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mercury in conjunct Pluto in a natal chart. Now, as some of you may remember, when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is that, well, if you have this aspect in your natal chart, there may be an adjustment, which is the inconjunct may be needed between communication, which is Mercury, and doing what you have a passion and desire, which is Pluto for. One or the other may be overemphasized. You may either be dominated by your communications and not focusing enough on what you have a passion and desire for, which is Pluto, or even making a major change or transformation. So the thing is, the key is to find the balance, the harmony, the equilibrium between the two energies. Now, let's say if Mercury is in Scorpio, there may be a lot of communication connected with it could be psychology, deep research, investigation, forensics, things that are connected with death, even reincarnation, if that is what the person may believe in. Uh, Matters of power and control as some examples. If Mercury, say, is in Aries, there may be a lot of communication. And at times you're pertaining to leadership, prowess, and ability, courage, bravery. It could be firefighting, military, as some examples that for fields that are associated with the zodiac sign Aries. Now, another thing is that. Another about Mercury in conjunct Pluto in a natal chart is that one may vacillate between, it could be too much or too little, short journeys, which is Mercury, to, Pluto related venues, whether it could be something connected with horror, such as horror houses, something with forensics, psychology, or the occult, which includes astrology. So, the thing about it is, it might be too much where you're emphasizing these short journeys to these places, or even just the secretive, mysterious places, too much, and not or it could be, not at all, and especially if it's something you're interested in, this is something to. If Mercury, say, is in Pisces, as an example, the short journeys may be ones that are very chaotic or convoluted. They may even be a little bit, have a little mystery, to them. Maybe you're taking a lot of trips in blurry or foggy type, conditions. And the thing, too, about this aspect in the natal chart is that you may either, think, which is Mercury, extremely deep, which is Pluto, or, strongly, go beyond, or you may have strong difficulty going beyond the surface and superficiality. It could be, the person, that at times may be almost looking too deep into matters and looking into possible ulterior motives of others, and other times it could be just like being exceptionally naive and not even thinking beyond the superficial, such as phony facades that somebody may put on. The thing is, let's say if Pluto is in Libra, it could be where one may really exceptionally go beyond the surface in terms of relationships, and whether it could be including important friends. If, let's say, Pluto is in Virgo in the 5th house, as an example, it could be really going deep into, extrapolating sports data, looking really deep into certain statistical data. And then other times there may just, be no depth in terms of doing so, and just looking things more of a blank, more of a just, more basic, fundamental manner as an example. And another thing about Mercury in conjunct Pluto in a natal chart, it also could manifest in either having tremendous emotional intensity, which is Pluto, in matters pertaining to communications, writings, manual dexterity, which is Mercury, or there may be none, whatsoever. There may be times when you're putting all this emotional energy and that intensity into those things that I just mentioned, or there may be times when you simply don't put any and you're just really, more impassive, stolid, regarding, those matters. Now, let's say, if Mercury is in Aquarius, as an example, those things that require, manual dexterity may be connected with computers or electronics. Writings may be associated with astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, aviation, meteorology, innovation, as some examples. And the thing is, you know, if you have, so the key again is to find that balance and equilibrium, the harmony with the energies, because, inconjuncts in astrology can be, really a lot of vacillation and distortion of energy. It could be just a lot of emphasis on one thing at one moment and not enough on, the other. And the thing is, you may also, another way, this aspect may be expressed in the natal chart is that you may either be very, enamored in terms of analyzing, which is Mercury and Pluto related topics. Then other times you may simply be very apathetic about doing so. Now, Pluto related topics can, include the occult, which includes astrology, some other things, psychology, locksmithing. It could be, something with forensics, investigation, embalming, matters with death, even reincarnation, if you do believe in that, taxes, insurance, transformation, as some examples. And the thing is, let's say if you have Mercury in Virgo as an example, there may be a really strong analytical ability and a tendency to strongly and really analyze these things, big time when you're actually doing so. Now, another thing about this aspect is that there may also be an imbalance as far as the activities go with siblings, cousins, and neighbors, which is Mercury, and those you're in intimate connections with, and even shared resources scenarios with, which is Pluto. You may be dominated by one or the other, the activities with one or the other. Now, let's say if Mercury is in Taurus, as an example, siblings, cousins, and neighbors, one or more, may actually have a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, one or more of those people, may actually be, very persistent, patient, persevering, trustworthy, stolid, people that are reliable, money conscious, but at the same time may be overly, could be greedy, avaricious, and stubborn as well. And the thing is, again, it's important to find, the balance, the harmony, and the equilibrium between those two people, because those groups of people, because, you may be monopolized one moment, in your time with one of them, then the next moment, the other may simply monopolize your time. So anyway, the thing is, also too, Mercury in conjunct Pluto in a natal chart may also manifest in either, having, too much, power and control, matters pertaining to vehicles, which is Mercury, power and control is Pluto, of course. The thing is, if you're in like a shared resources situation, or you're, intimate relationship, or you're married and you have a shared vehicle, there may be too much, possessiveness, trying to dominate, things, with your vehicle or with driving, and, this ownership situation, or, like I paid for it, so I'm going to be the main one that uses it, things of that nature. And at times, though, it could go the other way, where you're just completely maybe relinquishing, that power and control in those matters. And the thing too is, I would say, this aspect could also manifest in, Either really being could have been being enamored with Pluto-related subjects, in the early education, which is Mercury. Then other times, none, not whatsoever, and Pluto-related subjects again can be connected with insurance, taxes, matters with transformation, psychology, locksmithing, surgery, if that is actually ever offered as a course in their early education, or even the occult, which includes astrology. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.